Hey guys, welcome back for another piece of Call of Duty content here at 1v1 Me. I'm Enigma, I'm commentator, producer, etc. And with me, I've got a man who knows quite a thing or two about Call of Duty and especially about his rivals in this league. It is Conwa, my friend. Looking fantastic. How you doing, my guy?
I'm doing well, handsome. How are you?
Good. I am very good. I tell you what, my man's in the call, by the way. He's coming in to join us here at 1v1 Me as a COD producer. He goes to a lot of lands with Conwa. I might have to meet up. There might be some tension, I'm telling you now.
There's some sexual tension.
It's
that's for
absolutely on site. I'm telling you now. Like we can go halves on a room. I don't even mind getting you on board today because we're talking about some of your rivals, some of the pros that you'll be coming up against in the league. And today, what I want to do is talk to you a little bit about a team, Amelia Rose. Now, this is Amelia Rose and Scythe. They came in at the back end of last season, and it's fair to say it didn't go very well. They played about 4 or 5 games, lost every single one. And then they come into the new season. Amelia has second pick. She then goes with Scythe again. Now, was that something that surprised you? Because I know that you were around on draft day. Was that something you could see happening?
I mean, I'll say this. I think in 2v2s, a lot of what it comes down to more than actual talent is chemistry, being able to be on the same page. So even if Scythe isn't the best, I haven't really played him. I couldn't tell you much about his actual talent himself. Like if she felt comfortable with him and felt like they could grow, then why not? Like, why not stick with it and see if they can't, maybe get better, like keep growing. And I think that's kind of what we've seen is like, seems like they've gotten a little more comfortable together. They started to get on the same page a little bit. Yeah,
interesting stuff that you kind of mentioned there about like the whole chemistry thing, because I may have put my foot in it a little bit. She decided to run it back with Scythe. These two only got a handful of games together at the end of the season before, but man, it wasn't working. I came out, made a piece about who drafted well, etc. I talked pretty well about you. I like the idea we raised the balls. Yeah, I thought it was kind of good, but I sat there and like basically said for Amelia that this was arguably the worst draft of everybody. Felt like it was, she could have been braver. She had so many choices there and has run it back with a player that didn't work. So at this point, it's interesting that you're talking about chemistry because this kind of leads to where I'm going about whether I should open my mouth on certain topics in the future. Do you see them as a team that can contend when it comes to playoffs? Are they a dark horse for that? Or is it just a case of, well, they'll get into playoffs and just get absolutely rolled out?
I don't think they'll get rolled out. I think they definitely have a chance. I think the more comfortable they probably get with each other, the better they'll get. I kind of get that vibe from them the more I watch. Like it seems like if they're on the same page, it seems like they can make some good things happen. So the only thing I feel like that can get in the way is like if you start like if you kind of just get out talented sometimes. So because there's some teams that I think have a lot more talent than others in this league right now, like with the set 2 on a roster. So if those guys are coming out hot for that match, then I think it might be hard to win sometimes. But I think fundamentally speaking, if you're making mistakes, I think that they probably do a pretty good job on capitalizing for it.
Okay, interesting that a couple of things that you bring up there around potentially being out talented at points and stuff like that, because one of the things about that team is that they're great against the bottom half of the league, but the top half of the league, it's been a difficult time period for them so far.
That would make sense then, yeah.
Do you think that is something that you've mentioned chemistry quite a few times? Is that something that you think that eventually with enough time together they can overcome?
Kinda. I mean, like the thing with it, if it was 4v4, I would say like to an extent, yes. But I think in a 2v2, and especially in a 2v2 one and done, it's a little more volatile on what could happen. There could be like even with my team, for example, like there's days where I come out, I'm shooting flat, but like Ray's coming out and just feeling twisted on the day, and he'll pop out two 1v2s back to back, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, so it's like sometimes like when things like that come
I'm glad I picked that guy up.
Yeah, like I'm like, oh, sure, I'll take it, dude. So it's like if we're coming out and like both of us are shooting, I think it's gonna be hard for pretty much anybody to beat us. And I could probably say the same thing about like even Believe's team. Like I think Get Picked when he's more comfortable, like I saw a lot of glimpses of him like looking really good last season. So it's like if they kind of are both feeling confident and in control, then I think they'd be hard to beat. Same with Gus. I feel like Streak is the perfect player for him as long as he's giving him confidence. That I think they could be great too. So, but I think that team is kind of probably what I would say the better version of Amelia and Scythe, where it's like maybe they're not as talented, but they play really good COD. Like it's like you can't really make many mistakes against them. Like you have to just win your gunfights. A lot of time when we play them, it's just like we just kind of shit on them. Like so it's like if we make a mistake, it's like that's when the door starts opening for them.
I guess like I've got like 2 more questions for you. One of them is like one of the things that obviously right now what I'm trying to do is be like, I don't want to have to apologize. All right. I don't want to have to sit there and say that I was wrong. All right. I'm supposed to be the expert. I'm supposed to know what I'm talking about. So I guess the one thing that I've got like that I'm trying to use a bit of an argument here they've had more round 11s than anybody in the league by a considerable distance as well, and kind of leaning on, in my opinion, leaning on a lot of those to get their wins. They're scraping by, and in a lot of those, you know, seeing that many round 11s for me would be concerning, because I think that that shows there's gaps in that team. Is that something you agree with, or do you think I'm absolutely waffling and that this shows they're actually a good side?
If they're icing up the round 11s, that's a great sign. But I also agree that if they're getting to that point, then that means that there's holes. Like, I can always, like, whenever I watch back my own VOD and I look at the difference between a game where it goes 6-5 and a game like where we win like 6-1 or 6-2.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, like I thought I was like, I'm looking at the scoreboard. I'm like, I might have 13 in this like game that went round 11, but damn, I looked a whole lot better in the game. I just went 9-3 and we won 6-1.
Very true.
It's like I made less mistakes. I think there's definitely a story to tell if you look at some of the statistics. You look at some of, like, I don't know, the bomb planning, the decision making, 1v2s, things like that. Check it under the hood. There might be some problems there for sure.
Okay, I mean, I'm looking forward to like kind of taking what you've said there and like almost using it to help my magnifying glass through the rest of the season, because of course I'm going to be paying very close attention. Final question. I have said in a video that if Amelia Rose and Scythe get to the semifinals of playoffs, I will publicly tweet out an apology. Do you think that I will have to make that apology?
I'd say there's like a 50% chance you might have to, buddy. I think they're pretty solid from what I've seen. So I also just think there's a lot of people here that are fucking shit. So like, if I think they're pretty solid, then yeah, they might be able to make a semi. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I might eat my word. You're making me eat my words now, but I don't know. I think there's some burgers in here, so.
Yeah, here's to me hoping that they get like a really low seed and they have to come up against like, you know, yourself, I believe, Gustify, and I'm feeling a bit more confident about them potentially not making that. 'Cause otherwise, damn, I got to start drafting that tweet up. So
I'll try to do what I can, bro, but like it'd be kind of funny. So
yeah, it'd be funny as hell if like you managed to like if you two got drawn together, then she beats you, and it's like, well, how did this situation
I'm just
work
gonna
out for
throw you
both
under the
of
bus
us?
and be like, dude, like he gave her all this like. He had like all this bad karma around them, dude. Like, that's why I lost.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's my bad. Like I've built all this up, and it actually just falls on your head. My bad, man. Shit rolling downhill.
So you pissed her off when it came to playoffs, dude. Way to go. Now she's unleashing the beast on me, dude.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That is going to be tough. Yeah, really looking forward to when we get to playoffs. Of course, fully expecting yourself to be there, my friend. You've had an incredible season so far, and I have no doubt that is going to continue. But yeah, no, I really appreciate you getting on, talking to myself and Matt here. And yeah, letting us know a couple of things about, you know, what you think on some of your rivals, also some of the side quests you take us on. Absolutely love them. Wonderful. And hopefully plenty more content out of you in the future.
Absolutely. Happy to hop on some content wherever I can in the app. You know me. So
all right, man, I appreciate you. Take care.
Thanks, guys.